Today we're going to be making some Instant Pot natural dog treats. There's no reason you couldn't use a steamer or steam these in a pot of water, but we're using the Instant Pot. It's a nice way to use it, so we're going to just start right in. Here I've got a couple of pounds of carrots. They could be organic. In this case they're not. I'm just using up some ones in my fridge that needed to be used up. But you could certainly buy organic ingredients for all of the things that we're using. It's only 3 ingredients for this dish. 2 pounds of carrots, a large sweet potato or 2, and a cup of natural peanut butter. So here I am cutting up the carrots into pieces that will fit on the steaming trivet that goes in the Instant Pot, but you don't want them to be too small because it's amazing how quickly they get soft in the Instant Pot. So you just want to make them relatively large like I'm doing here. And also they're going to sit on top of the sweet potatoes once I get the sweet potatoes in there too. So I'm going to set them aside here once I'm done cutting them up. Now here I'm going to peel the sweet potatoes. I don't know if that's really necessary, but I just go ahead and do it. I definitely left the peels on the carrots. There's some nutrients in there that are good for us and the pets, and so there's no reason to take them off. They're not going to be the prettiest things anyway, so it doesn't matter if the peel's on there or not. But I went ahead and peeled the sweet potatoes. Okay, so now I'm cutting up the sweet potatoes into manageable pieces for that steaming trivet in the Instant Pot. Definitely want to be careful cutting sweet potatoes, especially with a dull knife like I have here, a little short blade. There's a couple times here you can see me practically cut my thumb off, but I managed to get through it without major injury. Okay, now I'm going to set them in the pot, and I'm putting them on that trivet. I'm trying to keep them raised up off the bottom of the Instant Pot. You can see there. It doesn't matter if a couple little pieces fall through like that little chunk down there. That's all right. I'm going to put a half a cup to 3/4 of a cup of water in there in a minute, and it'd be good if they are sitting above that water. So here I go, finishing my chopping. Okay, so when I get that bed of sweet potatoes in, I'm going to set the carrots on top, and I'm all ready to put in my water. It's like I said, about a half a cup to 3/4 of a cup of water, and it'll go down and settle on the bottom. That's what you'll use to steam it. I used 3/4 of a cup, but it was a little bit mushy, so I don't think it would hurt to use just a half a cup. So set it now for high pressure. 8 minutes. And meanwhile, I want to talk to you about the type of peanut butter that you want to put in this. I'm using the Smucker's Natural. They do make an organic kind, but I didn't buy it on this particular date. Be very, very careful that there is no xylitol in the peanut butter that you choose. There is xylitol, which is an artificial sweetener in some peanut butter, and it is deadly for dogs. Xylitol is considered a natural sweetener. And so you'll find it a lot of times in health food stores. So don't be fooled. It may be fine for people, but it is not good for dogs. It'll really wreck their liver and their kidneys. It's spelled Xylitol. And just remember, X marks the spot. Just cross out any sweetener in anything you're going to give your dog that starts with X. It's in yogurt, it's in artificial sweetener gum, and it is in some peanut butter, so just watch out for it. So while the stuff is cooking, you want to stir up the natural peanut butter if you get the Smucker's brand, because it does take a while to do that. And when it's done cooking, you want to do the instant release on your Instant Pot. Here I am being an idiot about it. I just tried to do it with a dish towel, but I think you should get a bath towel, a big heavy bath towel, and put it over that. Keep it out from under a cupboard or your face or anything that the heat could or the steam could bother. When you're done quick releasing, some of them have an automatic quick release. This one doesn't. And that is hard to do safely. I just put a big old bath towel over it and turn that release valve. You might have an instant release valve on your Instant Pot, but I don't. But just be really careful. Don't do it under a cupboard or anything that the steam could damage. And certainly don't do it under your nose or anywhere near your face. Then you'll want to open it up, drain off the water, get the carrots and sweet potatoes out of there, and then drain off the water, and then put them back in. Put in 1 cup or half a jar of that natural peanut butter, and then mush it all up with a potato masher. That's probably the best thing to do. Something like an immersion blender won't work, but potato masher worked pretty well for me. So I'm going to use my dehydrator to dry these, but you can easily do it in an oven on the lowest setting. I would maybe put them on maybe a greased cookie sheet and leave them overnight on the lowest setting, maybe all day while you're around doing other things, something like that. I saw something that recommended like 170 for the heat. I'm using the setting on my dehydrator of I think 135, and I am putting them on sort of like peanut butter cookie dough. You know, I'm pressing them down with a fork to make a crossways pattern. But I've made them a little bit too thin here. They're going to be real thin and brittle. And I've seen that the best way that they turn out is, you know, really hard to chew. But thin and brittle isn't bad. If you have a dog like mine who just swallows things whole, maybe she can get a couple of chews in before it goes down if you do the brittle thinness. So here I am poking holes in it with a chopstick to get some air holes through it so that the dehydrator can dry it a little more quickly. And they turned out fine. I just left them overnight, maybe from 7 o'clock till I got up the next morning, and they were fine when I got up. And the dogs really enjoyed them. I hope your dogs enjoy them, and there's nothing wrong with them if you want to try them too. Please subscribe and share with your friends. It really helps me make a living without a job. We'll talk to you later. Thanks so much for joining me today. Bye-bye.